Thank you. By watching this, you're going to be informed better than anybody who's ever tried to interpret any of these Sumerian tablets. They don't have a clue. But I'm fixing to show you why they all married their sister. So all these Sumerian gods, they had a ranking. And then their sister wife was 5 less. The ranking of Enlil was 50, and Enlil was 45. And Enki was 40. And so you can see the 6 gods and their 6 sister wives here. And they're ranking from 5 to 60. So this struck me when I was reading that line on that last movie I did. And so this is the wage too. You know, this is the first word when it says, and God said, let there be. It's just these 3 middle letters, Yod, He, Yod. And then when it says, and there was, it's those 3 and this Vav in the beginning. And it's the wage, W-I-E-J. Or it's how they, the W-Y is how. It's pronounced Y, and it was an ancient English word that meant how or who. But it's how they, and how they is your wage, how you get by. You know, what do? You have to have a job. And so this is wage 2. There's a Vav at the end. So this is the first 4 is wage, W-I-E-J, the wage, their job 2. And so this is Kli, K-L, and the next word reads backwards and forwards, so it's I, K-L-I. And that's where your word incline come from. It means an incline. It's a slope. And so when you're climbing, you know, you're usually going up a incline. So that's to KL, and then this last IM, to climb. And then back the other way, Jimmy. Jimmy is the days, to climb the jimmies. And so this is where your word climate come from. Anything starting with a Kli come from there. And so if you look at a globe, you know, this is the equator. This is down here at 0. And these lines are all at 10, 20, 30. And this is about the same as Egypt is around there. So that's why we have about the same climate down here in South Mississippi. You know, 40, 50, 60. Anything north of the 60, that's the land of old Boris Rex up there. If you look for the North Star, this axis that the Earth is spinning on, it's going to be pointing directly at the North Star. And so if you're at the equator, you know, you're looking at 0 degrees at the pitch. You're looking flat out, and you'll see the North Star up here. And the more you climb, the more incline that you're going to look. Now you're standing up this way, and you're going to look up, you know, 30 degrees before you see the North Star. And so incline and climb, that's where all these words come from. So the days are going to be in climb. You know, after Christmas, the sun's way down here. You see it way down coming up. And then it starts to climb, and it's at the equator at Easter. And so the days of climb are any days, you know, from Christmas, and then 6 months. It comes up to the highest point, and then you see it dropping back down again. So when it says, you know, the wage to climb Jimmy, it means, you know, the days are climbing and being more days. And it also means, you know, the beginning of the year. So the wage to climb Jimmy on not some backwards and forwards, H and H, is on not some outshine. The wage to climb Jimmy on not some outshine, which misses. So this is your word for sister and wife and 5. And it could be read the Vav and HM come sis, or which misses your wife, and the 5, which misses shine who empty. So they got this Washington Monument lined up. So on Easter, this shadow wake up right up down here, and as it gets farther into the summer, the shadow is going to lower. And until midsummer, that's going to turn around and come the other way. And so if you got 12 months, you'll have 7 points here. And it's going to, they're going to be the middle, the number 4 is going to be here, Easter. And you have 1, 2, 3, and then back this way, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're back in the middle. So you have 7 points there that it's going to point at. And the same in the evening, the shadow's going to come the other way. It's going to point out the other 7. And so you can see that on the first page, on the first day. And it's where to make, Vav, to make first knowledge from Mayel, from the backbone too. And then you can see it in this word 4 here, QRA, 4. And Q is the center of the first knowledge. 4 is the center of 7. And then on the 5th is the commissy, and that'd be where your word commence come from. And that's the beginning of the year. It starts in the middle on the 4, the center of the first knowledge, and then it commences to the 5th. So the wage to climb Jimmy on Notsum out shine, which misses shine who empty. Empty when it's going down. It's shining at the missus, at the sister wife, at the 5. So this story of Noah, it came later when the change of procession as the stars were changing. But the first time this is talked about is the descendants of Adam, Adam's clock. And this sounds like an American trying to impersonate a German. The cipher told it made by use in Ramiel. Made in damn what from Mayel, the backbone, who's what to. And so this word Z, it's the, but it also means the tool. The Z is a tool. And cipher isn't a book. Cipher is when you're figuring the numbers. The tool to cipher told it. Made by use in Ramiel. So this is in Ramiel was the first God. It's the first, second, and third word in the Bible, in Ramiel. In the first knowledge from the backbone. Mayel is a backbone. In the first knowledge of the backbone. The made in dim what? Dame, DM, dame, in the woman. Made in. The maiden is a woman. The dame is a woman. The maiden, damn what? From the backbone. Oos. And so this is whose, but it's not just whose what to. It's whose sweet what to. OSE is your last. It means sugar. And all your sugars are finished with OSE, dextrose and sucrose, circulose. And OSE means sugar. And so it's from in the maiden damn what? From the backbone who's sweet what too. And sweet means, your match, the one that fits tight, the one that fits in sweetly. No gaps. It fits real good. The Zacher. A couple movies ago I showed you where when it comes up with an I after that, the Zachary, they say it means monument. That's what it means, the male, the Zacher, the tool to give first. It's just Zacher. When cover bears from who in rock 'em to. Yeah, I'ma rock your world. The bears from who in rock 'em to. Who fraternize. The one you talking to. Who frat to. And then this is read backwards and forwards after this tack. And so this is MS. From missum is made by use the brass. The brass is, the officers, all the top ranking brass. The Zacher when cover bears from who and rock 'em to. Who fratum missum is made by use the brass. And so this one tries to fool you. It looks like the same word as wage, but that's a H in there. The H and the E are real similar and they try to fool you. But this is how high. How high made the solace is. Connect from at shine. Who willed in them what to the castle from to. Who frat to 'em's same to set. So you get a good picture of that here. This is changed some because the precession of the equinox since this was first written. But you have your queen side and your king side here, and you have your seven columns of Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, and over here in the center is Libra, the scales, and then Mercury, Sun, and Moon, and then there'll be the opposite on this side. And so Saturn's set over here, in the winter down here at death. And then the wage too, or the wage connected Jimmy, and then backwards and forwards from dads, from MDADS, from dad's gyro, from dad's turn, the evalid to, validate, or who will hand connected. To test, the shaman, from at shine. Who willed, what's in his hand? Who willed the beans and venue mark. Beans and venue is when you're going out to get supper and a show. Beans and venue. Your daughters are something to look at. But this is bings, the marks of time, things that you hear, and the mark of time, and a venue mark. A venue is something you see from what you hear and what you see. You hear them boys and you see the girls. Alright, I'm going to cut this off here. Good day.